Think like a millionaire before you become one, before the world sees a millionaire's bank account. That millionaire has already been living in a different world, a world built in their mind. This is the secret most people miss. Money doesn't make you wealthy. Your mindset does. You see, there's a reason two people can start with the same resources, the same opportunities, even the same struggles. Yet one ends up broke and bitter while the other becomes wealthy and fulfilled. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's mental programming. Millionaires don't wait for the bank balance to change before they act, think, and live differently. They start thinking like millionaires when they have nothing, and that thinking is what changes everything. Thinking like a millionaire is not about walking around pretending you own a yacht or acting like you've made it when you haven't. It's about training your mind to operate from abundance instead of scarcity. Most people wake up thinking about what they don't have, the bills, the debts, the limits. Millionaire thinkers wake up asking, what can I create? What can I build? How can I grow today? They focus on possibilities, not problems. Here's the truth. Your mind is the factory where your future is built. If the thoughts are cheap, life will be cheap. If the thoughts are rich in ideas, in confidence, in vision, then the life that follows will be rich too. It's not about faking it. It's about becoming it from the inside out. When you think like a millionaire, you make different choices. Instead of spending your last $100 on something that gives you a quick dopamine hit, you ask, how can I turn this into arbe? While most people spend their evenings scrolling social media, you spend yours learning, building, or networking. While most people fear risk, you study risk and learn how to take smart ones. Thinking like a millionaire means refusing to see failure as the end. For the average person, a failure is proof they were never good enough. For a millionaire thinker, failure is just the cost of learning what works and what doesn't. They don't run from mistakes, they harvest them for lessons. This mindset shift is powerful because your brain is like a GPS. Whatever you focus on, if you're constantly focusing on being broke, on not having enough, on fearing the future, your brain will lead you to decisions that keep you there. But if you lock your mind onto building wealth, creating value, and solving problems, every decision you make, big or small, will align with that vision. Think about it. Before Amazon was a $1 trillion company, Jeff Bezos was thinking like a trillionaire when he was still in his garage. Before Elon Musk was sending rockets into space, he was thinking like a pioneer when he had nothing but ideas. Before Oprah became one of the richest women in the world, she was thinking like a global icon when she was still working small local shows. It's not about pretending you're rich. It's about behaving like someone who will be. You stop saying, I can't afford it, and start asking, how can I afford it? You stop saying, I'm not lucky, and start asking, how can I create my own opportunities? That's millionaire thinking. Here's the catch. This mindset is uncomfortable at first. Your old habits will fight you. The people around you might laugh at you. You'll feel the pull to go back to the easy way of thinking, the average way. But here's where the real winners are born. They keep choosing the millionaire mindset until it becomes their default. Every great fortune begins as a single idea in someone's mind. That idea doesn't grow because they wait for the right time, the right resources, or the right luck. It grows because they think differently, speak differently, and act differently long before the results show up. They rehearse success in their mind until the world has no choice but to catch up. You don't need millions in the bank to start thinking like a millionaire. You need the discipline to control your thoughts. You need the courage to dream big in a world that settles for. You need the patience to play the long game when everyone else is chasing quick wins. And you need the belief, unshakable belief, that your mind is your greatest asset, your most valuable currency, and your true ticket to freedom. Small moves, big money. We've been sold the idea that success comes from one big break, one lucky moment, or one giant leap that changes everything. But that's a lie. The real million-dollar secret is this. Big money is built on small moves, repeated relentlessly over time. Think about how a single drop of water seems insignificant, but over years it can carve through stone. Exactly how wealth works. You don't need one massive action. You need consistent, intentional actions stacked on top of each other until they create a result so big it feels unstoppable. Every millionaire you admire didn't just wake up one day rich. They built habits that paid them daily. They learned a little more every day. They saved and invested a little more every day. They improved themselves a little more every day. And all those little mores compounded into a life most people can only dream about. The truth is, most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. They sprint for a few days, then burn out. Millionaire thinkers pace themselves. They know that daily discipline is the compound interest of success. Small moves aren't glamorous. They're not flashy. Waking up 30 minutes earlier to read, saving SIRS instead of spending it, making one more sales call, learning one new skill, exercising for Arthur's minutes. None of those will make you rich overnight. But here's what will happen. You'll start stacking wins, and those small wins become habits. And those habits become an unstoppable force that builds your wealth and your confidence at the same time. Let's get real. It's not the one big decision that changes your life. It's the thousands of small decisions you make when nobody's watching. It's choosing to work on your side hustle instead of binge watching another TV series. It's choosing to invest in yourself instead of wasting money on things you'll forget in a week. It's choosing to move forward even when no one's clapping for you yet. Think about the power of compounding. If you double a penny every day for Sanders days, by the end you don't have a few dollars. You have over $1 million. That's the magic of growth stacked over time. Small moves work the same way. They may not look like much at first, but over months and years, they create results that shock the world. The challenge is that small moves are easy to do and just as easy not to do. It's easy to save SAR today, but it's just as easy to say, it's only SIRS, it won't matter. It's easy to read for Arthur's minutes, but it's just as easy to scroll for Arthur's minutes. And that's why most people never see big money, because they don't respect the power of the small moves. Millionaires respect the small moves. They understand that the daily grind is where the real magic happens. They focus on progress. They measure success not by how much they accomplish in a single day, but by how consistent they are over months and years. Small moves build momentum, and momentum is the secret weapon of success. Once you start stacking wins, you feel unstoppable. You look back and realize you're not the same person you were a month ago. You're sharper, more focused, more confident. And with every small move you make, you're pushing yourself closer to the big payday you've been dreaming of. Here's the thing. When you take small moves seriously, you stop needing motivation every day because it turns into a habit, and habits run your life without draining your willpower. You don't have to think about brushing your teeth every morning. You just do it. Imagine if saving money Working on your goals or learning new skills became that automatic. That's how you win. Small moves are the building blocks of trust in yourself. When you keep your word to yourself every single day, you stop doubting your ability to achieve big things. You start believing that if you set your mind to something, you will find a way to get it done. That self-trust is worth more than any amount of money because it's the foundation on which all your success will be built. So here's the mindset shift. Stop chasing the one big thing. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect investment, the perfect idea. Start mastering the small moves you can control right now. They may seem small today, but over time they will become your legacy and your fortune. Turn life's problems into your paycheck. Here's a truth that will change your life. Every dollar you've ever earned came from solving a problem. Think about it. When you buy food, you're paying someone to solve your hunger problem. When you hire a mechanic, you're paying them to solve your car problem. When you buy a phone, you're paying a company to solve your communication problem. Money is simply the reward for providing solutions. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck you collect. That's why millionaires are not afraid of problems. They chase them. They look for them. Because they understand that hidden inside every problem is an opportunity to create value, most people run from problems. They complain about them. They avoid them. But here's the difference. When you run from problems, you're also running from paychecks. The market pays problem solvers, not problem avoiders. The world doesn't reward you for pointing out what's wrong. It rewards you for fixing it. When you start seeing problems as opportunities instead of obstacles, you train your mind to think like an entrepreneur, even if you're not one yet. You start asking, who needs help with this? How can I make this easier, faster, better, or cheaper for someone? That's the seed of every profitable idea in history. Think about some of the biggest fortunes in the world. Uber solved the problem of inconvenient and expensive transportation. Airbnb solved the problem of expensive hotels and limited travel options. Amazon solved the problem of slow, inconvenient shopping. Each of these companies looked at a frustration people had and turned it into a billion-dollar solution. But here's the key. You don't have to solve a world-changing problem to make money. You just have to solve a problem for someone better than anyone else can. Maybe it's helping businesses market themselves. Maybe it's creating a product that makes people's lives easier. Maybe it's offering a service that saves people time or stress. And don't forget this, problems are not always glamorous. Some of the most consistent and profitable businesses are built on solving boring problems, fixing pipes, repairing roofs, cleaning homes, managing finances. They may not get headlines, but they get paid because those problems never go away. Here's the mindset shift. Don't just notice problems, study them. The next time you find yourself frustrated, ask yourself, am I the only one who feels this? Or are there thousands, maybe millions of people with the same frustration? If the answer is yes, you've just found a potential income stream. Millionaires also understand that solving problems creates trust, and trust creates repeat customers. If you solve one problem well, people will come back to you for the next one. They'll recommend you to others. They'll pay you more, not just because you fix things, but because they trust you to deliver results. And here's where most people get it wrong. They think solving problems means you have to do everything yourself. But the highest earners know how to leverage resources, teams, and systems to solve problems at scale. The more people you can help, the more you can earn. Think of it like this. If you help one person solve a bet problem, you've made a bite. But if you create a system that solves that same problem for sure-ling people, you've made $1 million. Same solution, multiplied by reach. That's the true power of problem solving at a millionaire level. But to get there, you have to flip your relationship with problems. You can't see them as annoyances or setbacks. You have to see them as doors that lead directly to your next breakthrough. The harder the problem, the fewer people will try to solve it. And the fewer people who try, the more valuable you become if you succeed. This is why when the average person says, "This is too hard," the millionaire-minded person says, "This is too hard for most people, and that's why I'm going to do it." They know that difficulty filters out competition, so instead of wishing life was easier, wish you were more capable. Instead of avoiding challenge, walk toward them with a mindset that inside every challenge is a paycheck with your name on it. The world is full of problems. That means it's also full of opportunities if you have the eyes to see them and the courage to solve them. You are the best investment you'll ever make. The most valuable stock you will ever own is not Apple, not Tesla, not Bitcoin. It's you. You are the only asset in your life that you have full control over. You decide how much it grows, how much value it produces, and how much it's worth in the marketplace. And yet, most people invest more in shoes, gadgets, and entertainment than they ever do in themselves. Here's the reality. Every skill you learn, every book you read, every experience you gain, and every habit you build increases your value. And the more valuable you are, the more the world will pay you. Money flows to value. If you want to earn more, you have to be more. Think about it. $1 invested in yourself is never wasted because you carry that knowledge, that skill, and that growth for life. Unlike a car that loses value the moment you buy it, or clothes that go out of style, self-investment, it compounds. When you upgrade yourself, you upgrade your earning potential. The reason many people feel stuck is because they keep chasing bigger paychecks without becoming the kind of person who earns them. They want the reward without building the capacity. Millionaires understand this. If you focus on becoming the kind of person who can handle millions, the millions will follow. Investing in yourself means making choices today that your future self will thank you for. It means buying books instead of buying distractions. It means paying for courses instead of paying for fleeting pleasures. It means surrounding yourself with mentors instead of critics. It means putting yourself in rooms where the conversations force you to think bigger. And here's the thing, self-investment isn't just about learning skills for your career. It's also about your health, your mindset, and your relationships. What good is wealth if you're too tired, too stressed, or too burned out to enjoy it? Millionaires know that the foundation of lasting success is energy and clarity. They invest in fitness, in nutrition, in mental health, because they know that a sharp mind and a strong body are worth more than any stock portfolio. Self-investment also means learning how to think, not just memorizing information, but training your mind to see opportunities, to solve problems, to stay calm under pressure. Most people panic when things go wrong. A well-trained mind gets creative. And creativity is priceless in the marketplace. The people who seem lucky are often just people who have invested so much in themselves that when opportunity shows up, they are ready. They've built the skills, the confidence, and the network to say yes when others have to say no. That's not luck. That's a preparation meeting opportunity. You are your own business. And like any business, you have to decide how much you're willing to put back into it. If you were a company, would you invest in you based on your habits, your discipline, and your skills? If the answer is no, then it's time to make changes today. Yeah. The beautiful part is, you don't need a huge budget to start investing in yourself. Some of the most valuable self-investments cost little or nothing. Reading daily, practicing a skill, learning a new language, networking with ambitious people, taking care of your health. These are deposits into the account, and the interest rate on that account is unlimited. Remember, you cannot outperform your self-image. If you see yourself as average, you will produce average results, no matter how hard you work. But if you build yourself up in knowledge, in skill, in confidence, you raise your internal value. And the world will reflect that value back to you in the form of income, influence, and opportunities. This is why millionaires are obsessed with personal growth. They are never done. They never stop learning, never stop improving, never stop leveling up. A secret in your hands. You've just learned the $1 million secret, and it was never hidden in a vault, never locked in a bank, never buried under luck. It's been in your mind, your habits, your choices, and your vision all along. It starts with thinking like a millionaire before you become one, because the mind is the soil where every fortune is planted. Then it's about making small moves every day, because big money grows from small, disciplined actions stacked over time. You keep building by investing in yourself, because you are the only asset that can never be taken away from you. And finally, you turn the world into your marketplace by solving problems, because money flows to those who create value. This isn't a theory. It isn't motivation that fades when the video ends. This is a blueprint that works if you work at it. The question is, will you leave here and go back to old patterns, or will you decide right now that the millionaire version of you starts today, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, today? You have the mindset to grow, the power to act, the ability to learn, and the courage to solve. Everything you need to change your financial life is already in your hands, but the clock is ticking. So stand up, take the first step, make the first move, invest in yourself, solve the first problem, and then do it again tomorrow, because the truth is, you don't just find the $1 million secret, you become it, and the world is waiting for you to prove it.